Hello guys and welcome to Master Gaming. This is my top 10 most anticipated games of 2016. They're in no particular order, but they're 10 of the most hyped games that I'm looking forward to. First up is a game called Wild, which has been in development since 2014 and it's at Wild Sheep Studio. The game's going to have a continental-sized, huge open world with dynamic weather as well as seasonal variations. There'll be online gameplay as well as the ability to play as any creature in the world, which looks awesome, so you can play as wolves and sheep and birds and all sorts of animals. The game is set during the Neolithic period and is in a procedurally generated world around the size of Europe apparently. You can play as small animals which can be used as spies, or other animals like larger ones that can be used to support the player in tribe fights and fight other humans. Overall, this looks like an interesting game that looks different to anything we've seen recently. Next up on my list is Cry Primal, which is coming out in February. Cry Primal is an upcoming action-adventure video game developed by Ubisoft Montreal. I'm a huge fan of the Far Cry series and excited to play a game with a slightly different twist. The game is set in the Stone Age and revolves around the story of a character called Takar, I think, and who starts off as an unarmed hunter and rises to become the leader of a tribe. You can use animals to sort of assist you along the way. There's tons of different animals you can use, and they're all different, and they sort of bring different attributes to the game. For example, if you get a jaguar, it can kill players without being detected. They're also perfect companions if you like sort of playing games stealthily, but there's also other options. You can even tame owls to fly up into the air and survey the area, almost like your binoculars, but sort of scoping out the enemy bases. Overall, I'm just excited to try a different type of Far Cry, and it comes out soon. Next up on my list is Doom, which is highly anticipated this year. Doom, also known as Doom 4, is a reboot of the Doom series by ID Software, following its last release, Doom 3. The Doom franchise is known for its awesome first-person shooting and taking on hordes of enemies. The game will feature huge range of weapons which will be collected and freely switched between the players during the game. There will also be classic guns returning such as the BFG 9000. Also this time around, multiplayer has been introduced, and there will be such modes as 4-player deathmatch, domination, freeze tag and other clan arena modes. Doom is a beloved franchise and it's exciting that we're getting a brand new one this year.
The number one killer is time. It destroys us all. When Paul came back, he took away the only person who could stop the end of time. My brother, Will. Thing is, when time broke and changed Paul, it changed me too.
Next up on my list is Quantum Break, which is an exclusive coming to the Xbox One. It's an upcoming third-person shooter action game and is developed by Remedy Entertainment. It's published by Microsoft Studios. What's interesting is that there's also going to be a digital live action series also that runs alongside it. The game will feature digital episodes that interact with the game based on the player's choices. This isn't something we've really seen before, and it'll be interesting to see how sort of the game and the series work together in tandem. But overall it just looks like a great game.
I've seen things. A few things before. Left the sun and moon behind. Galaxies waiting to be found.
Next up is No Man's Sky, which is coming out this summer, 2016. There's been massive hype surrounding this game, and it's exciting to sort of see how it's going to play out. It's an upcoming adventure survivor video game, and it's published by indie studio Hello Games. The idea behind the game is that you're free to explore the entirety of a procedurally generated open universe, which is set to be massive. Core to No Man's Sky is its virtual galaxy, including the stars, planets, lifeforms, ecosystems, and the behaviour of the space factions, all created through procedural generation. There's been a lot of hype surrounding this game, and people are still unsure on whether it's going to deliver or not. It's certainly one to keep your eye on, and an exciting title this year. Next up is Ratchet Clank. It's not one of the more sort of headline titles next year, but it's certainly one that I'm excited about, as I used to love playing them when I was smaller. The game is developed by Insomniac Games, and it's going to be published by Sony Computer Entertainment. It's basically a reimagining of the first game in the series, and it's sort of based on the upcoming film that's coming out this year. The gameplay looks really fun, and the graphics look like they've been updated, and it just looks beautiful. It's definitely a game that I'm looking forward to this year.
An army is coming. I must warn them.
Hang on, slow down. You've been in a crash. What do you say we get you back to my garage? I'll run a diagnostic and have you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I appreciate the assistance.
It's no problem. So, what do I call you?
I suppose my proper designation is Warbot Defect B54296.
Maybe I'll just call you Clank. My name's Ratchet.
Next up on my list is Horizon Zero Dawn, which is an upcoming action role-playing video game in development by Guerrilla Games, which is published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Guerrilla Games are known for their Killzone series, and this is the first sort of attempt at a new IP by the development studio. It's a role-playing game that sees you play as a female character in a futuristic world that's overruled by sort of mechanical beasts. We've only seen short snippets of gameplay, but from what we have seen, the game looks absolutely awesome, with stunning graphics and awesome gameplay. This game looks great, and I'm sure it's on the top of most people's lists this year.
It's happened again. Someone's pulled the rug out from under you. An empire at your feet, and you've lost it all. Be honest, did you really deserve any of it? More important, what would you do to get it back?
Next up is Dishonored 2. The first Dishonored was one of my favourite games of the last generation, with unique gameplay, exciting graphics, and sort of interesting twist on what games can do. The game is an action-adventure stealth role-playing video game that is developed by Arcane Studios, and it's published by Bethesda. After playing as Empress Emily Coldwin during the first prologue of the game, players can now decide whether to play as Coldwin or Corvo Altano. We haven't seen a huge amount from this game, but it's definitely one that I'm looking forward to, and is probably going to be up there with the top of my games this year. Next up is a game that I think if you own a PS4 is certainly something that you're going to be excited about.
Nate, come on. Give me a hand with this. Okay.
This year we'll be getting Uncharted 4, that is going to be the last in the series apparently. It has been delayed a couple of times, but it's definitely set to come out this year now, and it's definitely one to get excited about. It's developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment, and is on the PlayStation 4. The game takes place 3 years after Uncharted 3, and you begin play as Nathan Drake. His world is turned upside down when his older brother Sam, who is believed to be dead, suddenly turns up and is looking for Drake's help. Naughty Dog have outlined the game's plot as the greatest adventure yet, and will test his physical limits, his resolve, and ultimately what he's willing to sacrifice in order to save the ones he loves.
Oh, crap!
Last up on my list is Dark Souls 3. I know it's not a game that everyone's going to be excited about, but it's certainly one that I'm looking forward to. The Dark Souls franchise is known for its punishing difficulty and sort of dark tone. Bloodborne was my favourite game of last year, and so I'm sort of excited to jump back into another game which is similar in style. The game was developed alongside Bloodborne, but was handled by a completely different team. Thanks for checking out my top 10 highly anticipated games of this year. They're all my opinion, and I'd love to hear what you guys are looking forward to this year. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next time.